Hello again, everybody. This is Nick with WatchTalkWorld.com, and up for review today we have one of the classic designs in the G-Shock range. Here we have one of the 5600 series G-Shocks, and in specific we have the Gw-5600J. This is one of the newest of the 5600 line. It's not the most modern, but it's kind of second in line in the evolutionary chain, so to speak. This one in particular employs atomic timekeeping and tough solar. The newest 5600 has the multiband 5, which is really its main benefit over this module. This G-Shock here employs module 2924 and has a lot of your usual features. And look into those. Here we have world time, where you can look at different time zones across the world. Say in case you're traveling to a different city, you can set it to the time zone that you're traveling to and keep a look at what time it is there. Here you can set your hourly signal. You have your countdown timer, which is 1 minute to 24 hours. Your stopwatch, which goes up to 24 hours, and then back to your normal screen. One complaint some people have about this one over the GW-5600, which is the newest, is that it doesn't show the day of the week and the date. However, it's a pretty easy switch if you want to see it. But in general, I can keep up with the day of the week. Usually just need to be reminded of the date. Plus, the newest one is it's almost twice the price of this model, and I don't need the multiband 5 because the Wave Scepter multiband 2 will pick up in Japan and the United States. Being in the US, I went with this one for about $55, whereas the newest 5600 I believe runs between $80 and $90. So, and I also kind of don't like the red line that goes around it. I think this one's got a real classy look to it. Compared to my Golfman, this one's quite a bit more comfortable. A couple of reasons being its profile is quite a bit lower. The strap is much nicer. These little teeth here aren't nearly as dramatic as they are on the Golfman. As you can see, that's one reason. These kind of bite into your wrist a little bit, where this is kind of a water sports themed watch. Kind of holds it to the wrist. This one's kind of held true to the 5600 design. See here, we've kind of got the usual 4-screw design. Not a screw back like is more desirable, but I don't know if you guys can tell. There we go. Casio has stamped the G5600 on the back of this. Well, while the 5600 wasn't the first G-Shock, it was probably the first popular G-Shock, because really that model was the first one that became widely available throughout the world versus some of the even earlier models. A couple of things I like about it. It's solar powered, meaning that hypothetically you won't have to change anything, although there is still a capacitor inside of it that could fail, that will hold the charge. And it's easy to charge up 4 or 5 hours in some bright sunlight, and you'll be right up to high, and on a full charge I believe it'll run 8 months. It's got a neat little power save feature that if it's left in the dark for a little while, the screen will go completely blank, but it's still keeping time, and as soon as you press a button or put it in the light, it'll come back on. So all in all, that's pretty neat. A couple of complaints. For those who have fat fingers, like me, you may have a hard time pressing these buttons. Compared to the Golfman, as you see their size and they're recessed a touch into the case, these are much easier to push than these. You saw actually earlier in the video I had a little trouble hitting the mode button. Syncing this watch, it seems to be a bit finicky. It takes 1 or 2 tries at my west facing window, and it's usually about 2:30 or 3 before I actually get it to sync. But being where I'm at, I'm about 1,000 miles away from Colorado, so I'm pretty happy that I get a signal anyway. Otherwise, the strap is pretty much as soft as the Golfman. As you can see, Golfman's a bit taller, case is a bit wider. Oops, I got this. And basically, 5600 is a classier of the two. I'm not one to need a ton of features on one. I mean, every now and then I'll use a stopwatch, but mainly I'll just use a light, maybe a stopwatch, maybe a countdown timer. But in general, another good looking G-Shock, one of the more kind of understated ones. Classic styling, really like the updated LCD. You know, basically you want a G-Shock that doesn't look kind of geeky or anything like that. The 5600 is the way to go. It's probably the most, what I feel is classy. But if you have any questions for me, or you know, if you're a fan of watches in general, come visit us at watchtalkworld.com. We'd be happy to have you. Thanks for watching.